What are some stereotypes you have heard about women?
Some of the main ones I've heard are that women are expected to be more compassionate, accommodating, and nurturing, and they're also house care and child care are expected to be a woman's responsibility.
Stereotypically, I think men are associated being stronger, and women are usually seen as being more emotional, but also more loving.
Yes, there are stereotypes about women. Meghan Trainor wrote a whole song about it. A lot of people think women should just bake or stick to jobs that aren't in the STEM field, whereas it's mostly men, quote unquote, going and getting those jobs in engineering and more.
Hi, I'm Sam, and for the question, what are some stereotypes that men and women have? Traditionally, like one stereotype could be that women predominantly care for kids and work in the household, whereas the men are the ones that are working and earning the money for a family.
What are some stereotypes you've heard about men?
Some stereotypes I've heard of are just things like how men aren't supposed to show emotion and that men are supposed to be in charge of a household.
And personally, I think this isn't true because nowadays, more and more women are going to college, and that's a good thing. I think that people are hiring more childcare to take care of their kids, and then both the husband and the wife are working full-time in their career. So I think that this stereotype is not true.
I think gender stereotypes in the workplace is a very hot topic right now that our society is trying to fix and change and diminish those stereotypes, but I still feel like I would associate jobs like nursing or teaching with something a woman would do, while I would see men doing more of the vocational style jobs.
I'm Carter, and the question I was going to address is, are there gender differences in the workplace, and if so, where do we see them? And I think something you can see, at least at colleges, is generally STEM and business majors seem to be primarily male, and then that goes on from college into the workplace as well. And same with education and nursing. It seems like they're primarily female, and in the workplace it's female as well.
Okay, do you think that your gender impacted your experience in education at all?
Not really. No.
The place where I've seen gender having an impact on education the most is in gym class settings. I find that there's the biggest divide between boys and girls in both their expectations and then what they're asked to do, their abilities and how they perform. I always feel like there's a hard comparison, or they partner girls with girls and guys with guys, and that's the biggest place I see the separation.
Yes, I do think gender impacted my education because I was an overachiever and went and took a lot of different classes, and a lot of people thought of that I couldn't take them because they were harder and that I was a girl and I was very much into science, and people judged me for that because girls aren't supposed to go in science.
Do you think school made it easier or more difficult to manage your emotions?
Easier. They had little places you could go in school, and counselors who would meet with you if you were super stressed. So.
Do you think school made it more easier or difficult to manage your emotions?
Probably easier.
Why?
Because there's counselors and stuff.
Do you think school made it easier or more difficult to manage emotions?
I think school has made it more difficult because anytime you show a little bit of emotion, like stress or anxiety, teachers kind of just dismiss it and get your work done.
Did school make things easier or harder to deal with my emotions? I would say in some settings it made it easier because I had teachers who were great at telling me to express my emotions and stuff like that, but in other classes it was all about the homework and you would get really stressed and anxious, and some of the teachers weren't as good as giving grades, which made it harder to just have a healthier mental health in general.
Alright, so I was asked, what are some words that describe both men and women? So 2 things for men. I thought men are typically seen to be tougher, but can also be seen as meaner. And then women are often viewed as more emotional, but I think that people think women are nicer sometimes.
Okay, what words do you associate with men?
Men are stubborn and protective.
What words do you associate with women?
Women are delicate and passionate.
Cool. I had confusion, and ways that students can deal with this emotion of confusion is just simplifying things and not being too hard on themselves, and just understanding that eventually they will understand the material and what is going on. And then the next emotion I had is anger. The gender differences with this emotion is that boys typically tend to release their anger with physical aggression, whereas girls tend to just keep it inside. But for both genders, it's important that they just let themselves feel it and understand that it is normal to feel this emotion and that it's okay, and eventually they'll get through it.
All right, I had happiness, and research says that happiness is the only acceptable emotion, or that's what children are told growing up. And it's important to remember that it's okay to feel other emotions and it's okay to not be happy. And I also had the emotion sadness, and I read that typically when boys are young, sadness is unacceptable according to parents' guidance, and that is not okay. And it's okay for boys to show that they're sad just like girls can.
I had nervousness. This is a mental and physical unrest, and with this throughout time it's been told that boys shouldn't have problems and they shouldn't have to talk about them, and so they can't express like when they're nervous or how they're feeling, so then these problems just like go inside and they don't know how to express any of them. And with females, they've been told they can't express it, so like they're allowed to like share their issues. And then my second one was excitement. And this would be like when just people are excited and really happy for something, and they show this by like jumping up and down and just like getting really like happy about what they're doing.
I had the emotion annoyance, and when people become annoyed, it's okay. There's going to be situations where you are annoyed at someone or something, and it's just knowing that being annoyed is okay, and just a healthy way to take care of that is like taking a break, taking a walk, talking it through even can help you. And overall, it's okay to feel annoyed even though people may get mad that you become annoyed with them. And then I also had aggression, and this is very prominent in males, especially physical aggression. And aggression, you just need to find a healthy way to address it, either by taking a walk, taking time off, or just like sitting and thinking. And it's okay for both male and females to feel aggression. It's just how you deal with it mentally. Overall, we hope that you learned that it's okay for both males and females to express many different emotions, and that it doesn't matter what emotion you feel, it's how you express it. And there are many sources and resources for you to reach out if you need help learning how to deal with emotions, and just to find your own way to mentally and physically deal with these emotions.